over his head. Oh, behind his head. Wow.
Scary pitch.
Now the umpires are getting together behind the pitching mound. What could this be about? Are they going to warn Chapman? There's been some bad blood between these two teams.
They're discussing intent, without a doubt.
What is this, 7 consecutive ejections with a crew consultation?
Only Chapman can answer that question, but that was a scary, dangerous pitch.
I'll tell you what, when you're struggling to beat a team and you're up by 2 runs in the 9th inning, the last thing you want to do is try to hit somebody. But I agree, Coney, and I've been in the box when you lose sight of this ball. And when you step out, I mean, you just say your prayers. Thank goodness it did not connect.
Now, David, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Brasso the Ray that was chatty with Paxton after the home run?
I mean, these two teams have been going at it.
All right, they've issued warnings to both teams. So he kind of shooed Aaron Boone into the dugout, and now Kevin Cash wants to know, warning, I mean, we might not go back on the mound. It does get a little dicey, David, because if you issue a warning, then you think he did it on purpose. And you have the right to throw him out then, if you think he did it on purpose. You don't have to issue a warning.
Remember, you don't need intent to warn.
You know, they got together, they discussed it. And when you're a batter and you see a pitcher drive right at you and throw a pitch like this, you can't help but think, Paul, that what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Swing and a miss, and that will do it. Chapman does the stare. Brasso looks out there as well. And that's going to go into everybody's memory banks as the Yankees break a 6-game losing streak against the Rays with a 5-3 victory. And now they have some things to say to the Yankee dugout. And now the Yankees are moving toward the Rays, and this is not supposed to happen with the social distancing rules that are in place. And the umpires are trying to restore order. Both bullpens jogging in. So it was Ford and Wade that were trying to talk some calming things toward the Rays. And as I mentioned, David, we don't know what was in Chapman's mind when he did that, but the Rays are going to assume what was in his mind.
Yeah, we saw. I mean, you can draw your own conclusions on what you saw at home, but certainly it was a very scary and dangerous pitch. The intent, only, as I said, only one person can answer that, but this is a budding history between these two teams, and you know it's not going to end tonight.
And Holder got the final out of that inning, but gave up a home run to Brasso in the 4th. That's where we stand at 5-0, and Renfroe gets plunked by Heller. Now the umpires are going to convene on that one, and that is the danger you have when warnings are issued before a game, where if a ball gets slightly away from a pitcher, there's a possibility he could get thrown out.
Well, here's a young kid that just lost a pitch. There's no intention whatsoever here, and that's where it becomes a fine line. You talked about it, Michael. And I mean, this is ridiculous. Every once in a while, you're going to lose pitches, and you have to be smart enough as a pitcher.
Wow, they just threw him out.
I cannot believe this.
Wow. And Carlos Mendoza is going to say, I mean, really? And the Yankees are in a bind trying to get all these outs out of the bullpen. Now you just threw out one of their players. David, did that look like it was on purpose?
No, it's overly cautious by the umpires, obviously, and with the history and what's happened. You know, it's hard for them to play a guessing game, but you could see that ball got away from him, but it was way away from him. So if I'm the umpire, I can understand why they're calling them together. I mean, there's missing and then there's really missing. So, I mean, we've seen Heller do this. If you know Heller, then you know that his two-seamer runs all over the place and it can get away from him. But that one was pretty wild. So you can understand what the umpires are saying, even though, Paulie, we know that, you know, Heller and his control problems at times.
There you go. The home plate umpire, Jerry Meals, says yes. And they're barking out of that Brewer dugout. And somebody just got ejected. And Andy Haynes, the hitting coach, very upset. He may have been the one that got tossed. It hasn't been the best night, let's face it, for Jerry Meals if you've been watching all night.
Yeah, well, he kicked the call down to first base that allowed the Cleveland Indians to tie the game.
Hold up, the plate umpire kicked it?
And the former Dodger gets ready to hit against Ferguson. The home runs have become quietly a bit of an issue the last couple weeks for the pen. So those 20 games last year was last year plus. Takes a strike, 1 and 2. One-two pitch. Another 1-2 from Ferguson gets him looking with a fastball to the inside corner, and that ends the inning. But a grand slam from Kevin Pillar, and the Dodgers find themselves trailing by a run as we go to the bottom of the John, right after we went to break, following last inning, Matt Kemp was thrown out of the game for arguing the strike 3 call with Gabe Morales.
He didn't like the balls away from him, 2 strikes, and he didn't like the one in. When he sees it on video, he's going to wonder, why did I get tossed?
Carlos Estevez comes on to pitch. He's had 2 blow-ups this season.
You got somebody to counteract him. Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Soria paints it at the knees and on the outer edge. Eric Hosmer displeased with the call, and there are 2 down here in the 8th.
I mean, you can't do anything with that. It's 94 miles an hour running away, probably off the plate, but still a great pitch. I don't miss that, not one bit.
Looks like we may have had an ejection. It may have been Eric Hosmer. We saw the frustration with that called strike 3 against him in the previous at bat before Austin Nola just homered. Now the first-year manager Jace Tingler talking with home plate umpire Quinn Wolcott, perhaps about what just transpired, and seemingly Hosmer is out of this game. We'll confirm that in a moment. Again, this is something we do miss, not being in the park.
Well, you are getting old.
Thanks a lot.
And Bryce rips it. Foul.
Bryce needed that one right there. Oof. That was awfully close.
Yeah, Bryce thought it was fair.
Went over the corner of the bag, perhaps.
During his brief time with the Phillies, it's been a year and a half. We have not seen Bryce Harper this mad. He has been ejected from the ball game. He had words with Roberto Ortiz, the first base umpire, and it was on the ball that was hit down the right field line, which was called foul. He thought was fair, and then Roberto threw him out, and we heard Bryce saying in between innings, "Be a professional." So there was something that must have been said from Ortiz.
27 years old. Not familiar to us because he's been in Miami the last 3 years. And Luis Basabe just called up. Somebody's hearing it. Maybe he got run. I would imagine Scott got run.
I don't think Scott liked those first 2 sliders.
Yeah, right. You can put the mask on if you're going to beef. Let's see. It is low.
And you can see there that there's some jawing from the dugout.
Boom,
and there it was.
On a 3-2, Muncy takes strike 3 to the bottom of the zone, 2 out. That has built up from a night where the hitters have not been happy with the zone, really on either side. Muncy still barking back at Doug Eddings, and he's now been thrown out.
Max with an 0 for 5 and 3 Ks, and the bottom of the zone has been wide. That one maybe caught the strike zone, but it has been very liberal at the bottom all night.
Brian Holiday is the pinch hitter, batting for Renato Nunez, and that is inside to Holiday. I believe you do remember right, and I believe that ball was a foul ball off the mask of Kratz. Preston Tucker was an Astros pick in that draft too. Let's see. Yep. Knob to the mask.
Knob of the bat. Wow. That's hard to do.
Interviewee Brian Holiday always. There's a strike. 36 on the knob there. Number on your belt buckle. Oh, called strike 3 to Holiday. Come on back, Brian. Nope, come on back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he called it a strike, but he hadn't called many of those a strike all night. But again, when the game gets where it is right now, and it's been a long day, sometimes this pitch gets called. It hadn't been called much, but we've seen 2 now in the last couple of innings. Brandon Hyde's not happy about it.
Oh, they just said it was in the dirt.
Here comes Brandon Hyde.
Well, these two started at it early in this ball game, and it's not over yet.
What's not over yet? The Brandon Hyde, Pat Hoberg duel?
No, it's not over with yet.
IK Zone said it was right on the border. I'll at least give Pat Hoberg the credit there. The ball was dropped, which probably made it look a little worse. Apparently Brian Holiday was ejected. We didn't see it. Again, we're not at Yankee Stadium, but apparently Holiday has been ejected from this game. So when the Orioles score 9 runs and go back around to Brian Holiday's spot, they will need another pinch hitter.
And Joey Votto, Reds ranks all time. He has struggled overall, and I know he had the big home run yesterday and he had the double earlier in this ball game, but he struggled mightily on the road this year. But that ballpark pretty hitter friendly, and he had the double.
He still is interesting to watch when he's at the plate.
It's a circle, Dan. It's up, down, and around.
And he strikes out Joey Votto, who has had words with the home plate umpire the entire night.
To his credit, DJ, never mind. I think Joey Votto says, I vehemently disagree with the call. He was trying to make his point, say, hey, you can't have both sides of the plate in and out. That was a strike. Now, it wasn't exactly where Kaminsky wanted to put that pitch, but Votto wasn't having it one way or the other.
David Bell in his first season as the manager of the Reds was no stranger to getting ejected. And when you have Wieters kind of reaching for it and then Votto looking back, he's saying, now wait a minute, he's having to reach for it.
That's what he's seeing, yeah.
It was a strike.
To left, should be deep enough to score Schwarber. It will. Baez trying to get to third. Here comes the throw. And not handled by Sogard. It's a sac fly. Charge that run to Adrian Hauser.
Look out, here he goes.
And here comes Baez to the plate. And he's going to come in and score. The Brewers just fell asleep.
Yeah.
And Craig Counsell's coming out. He's thinking the ball's out of play. Understand the frustration from Craig Counsell too. Here's the play again.
Well, Baez tagging up from second base. Foregone conclusion that the run was going to score. Schwarber. He's safe. Now Sogard thinks that Baez leaves early. Right about now you'd think time would be called. He throws the ball to here at second, and Baez keeps going. A disastrous defensive game for the Brewers. No doubt about it. As soon as we start talking about how good the defense has been all year.
I've been performing pretty well, but didn't have a great series against the Nationals. Struggled so far against the O's. They asked for an appeal, and they say he didn't swing. And Brandon Hyde is not a happy camper. He is coming out, and this is dangerous territory as he's talking to Brendan Miller.
He's telling him that's 3 calls you've missed.
And Bill Welke is trying to diffuse this situation. You know, a lot of times you could come out, and this is sort of seen as an ejectionable offense because it is arguing balls and strikes, but he did get tossed.
Yeah, he got tossed before he even came out of the dugout.
Came out. Okay.
And I think that's why he was so upset. That was a quick toss. It's a very close call. Safe right away, and you can see it. I mean, he throws him out right away.
To Hyde thrown out of the game. That's the first time that Hyde has been ejected all season.
Well, 5-2 White Sox in the bottom of the 7th inning. But while you were away grabbing a drink, grabbing a snack, the Twins were outside the dugout arguing with plate umpire Will Little. Rocco Baldelli was unhappy. And then Nelson Cruz came firing out of the dugout. And he didn't even bat in the inning, and he started yelling. Cruz just went down the tunnel moments ago, and somebody got thrown out. I believe Nelson Cruz got run from this game.
Yeah, I think that they threw a couple of people out. I think Rocco was out for sure. I think maybe Cruz was out. I think they threw out Torrey Hunter. They might have got Kent Herbeck.
Radke.
Yeah, just keep throwing them out. Here
Shane
comes
Mack.
Cruz. You know that he was given the boot, and he was hot for a while.
Angel Hernandez came down, the crew chief, to stand in between, but Nelson Cruz was really frustrated. I mean, that at bat that Cruz had in the 6th inning got him extremely frustrated, and so it looks like he's out of the game, and he'll bat 4th in the 8th.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. No.
Yeah, Yadier Molina can steal more strikes than any catcher in the big leagues.
That's 2 veterans there. Yeah, I got you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Head for those exits. A 3-2 pitch in the 9th.
That was
a catcher's interference. Yeah, Molina got the worst of it by far.
He got his hand hit by the bat. I mean, you see that quite a bit with Ryan Braun. He will swing late. Got him on the hand, and that'll be an E2 interference. RBI for Ryan Braun.
What a tough night for Molina. I mentioned that he was upset with himself after his strikeout a couple innings ago, and now this.
He got plenty of that hand and knocks the glove off. Catcher's interference. That's the thing about Ryan Braun. I mean, a catcher, you can't really leak that glove out too quickly.
Got a little now. Molina, I mentioned he wasn't happy before. These guys are going to see a lot of each other between now and the end of the season. Jed Jerko, you see the former teammate of Molina.
No, this is not good.
No.
I mean, you can't be doing this kind of thing, based on what's going on in our country right now with the virus. Now you got the bullpens emptying out. Everybody over by the Brewers dugout.
All of this going on. They're playing. They got a half a game to go tonight, 2 tomorrow, and 5 with them next week in St. Louis.
Yeah. Big crowd of players around in one spot. Somebody must have said something to Yadier Molina that he did not like.
Yeah, that's part of the portfolio. He's a great catcher. He's a Hall of Famer, but he will let you know how he feels. Mike Schilt getting in a few words himself. Cooler heads, it looks as though will prevail.
Ed Cedar will calm things down.
Yes, he will.
He does a good job of that. And you wonder if Molina's going to stay in the game. I mean, it's an 11-run lead. I wonder if he's okay to stay in. Just don't like that many guys congregating in one small area.
No.
We just got done talking about all the protocols, and that is a no-no.
Well, MLB really, I was going to say frowns on it. That's not strong enough.
Right.
But it obviously appears as though people are going to calm down and get back to playing the game. In the meantime, see if Molina's okay and whether he can continue.
Mike Schilt walking over to the Brewers dugout. I'm not sure what he heard, but then Molina, I think Molina is protecting his manager. Yeah, good that Jed Jerko, former Cub or former Cardinal, is in there. He'll calm things down as well.
Yeah, Matt Carpenter keeping Molina back a little bit too. Saw Volga back in there. I don't think I'd want to be messing with him a whole lot.
No. And Jed Jerko doing a good job being a peacemaker there. Yeah, the way it looked as though something was said that Mike Schilt heard, and then Yadier Molina went over to kind of protect his manager.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around, right?
Exactly. Right. Of course, I don't know, but that's what I think. It seems like that was the way it looked. Schilt is not happy right there. Jacob Nottingham getting in between Schilt and the rest of the Brewers.
Yeah, there's another guy you don't want to fool with.
Yeah, not sure who he's upset with.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Molina doing a little pointing. You're right, though. Credit to Jerko here for trying to calm things down.
Donaldson first. His former teammate. It's outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Very tough pitch to deliver to Donaldson, who has not had a great series, but he's very dangerous, especially when he's ahead of the pitcher.
That's a strike, 2-1, a much needed strike, and Donaldson's not going to like it.
Well, he can't believe it, first of all. He says, I'm asking you if it was called or if I swung or you thought I swung.
He's really giving it to Dan Bellino.
Yep, but Dan's giving it right back. And now Dan is hearing it from Rocco, who has already been ejected from one of these games for arguing balls and strikes or trying to protect Nelson Cruz. And look, what Rocco wants to do here, he wants to protect Donaldson, so he wants to put the emphasis on him and take it away from Josh Donaldson. They can live without Rocco, but they want Donaldson in the lineup.
You always hear you can't argue balls and strikes, but Dan gave him some leeway there. Donaldson to left field, and he sends it out of here. So Minnesota has retaken the lead again on another solo home run.
Yeah, we said when he's ahead of the pitcher, he is really tough. And another home run, 106.6 miles an hour, and
oh yeah, Josh Donaldson just kicked dirt as he came across the plate, and Dan Bellino ran him on the way by. He kicked dirt at Dan Bellino, and he got thrown out, and rightfully so. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's out of the in the file of really dumb things that players do. That's right up there.
It's absolutely ejectable. He leaves home plate happy, and then he leaves the ball game after that.
Ford home run replay. That one wasn't a particularly good fastball. He tried to get it inside, and Donaldson hits it out. And of course, he forgot the don't walk away in anger philosophy. Yeah, that's yeah, I mean, that's not bright, because his team needs him, and now they don't have it. And what, to prove what point exactly?
Yeah, you took the lead. I mean, good for you, right? See ya. It's been fun.
So you could see very much that Anderson thought that was a strike.
And Tyler Anderson just screamed at the home plate umpire about that call. He thought that was strike 3. Lewis didn't swing. It's a leadoff walk.
I think Anderson's been run from this game, and he has. He's out of here.
So it now becomes a bullpen game.
Called third strike. I heard Stallings say no way. That goes back to that
leadoff batter.
Yeah,
in the 6th.
When he's catching.
Never see Jacob Stallings that upset. And that was exactly the same pitch that was called ball 4 to Tommy Edman, which led to that 6-run 6th.
I'm just saying. And yeah, you'd never see Stallings react like that. Or you could catch Shelton say that's terrible. Why are you yelling at him? So Stallings ejected.
Yeah, I got this down.
Before settling, that one gets away. And Moniak will go to third. Marchand will go to second. Moniak didn't see it right away. And a strike 3 calls.
Taking a little heat. That umpire's taking just a little bit of heat.
Yeah, the
on
umpires.
that particular pitch.
Yeah, Joe's going to get thrown out of this ball game. He threw somebody out already. I think he threw Joe Dillon out. Maybe it was Joe. I think it was Joe Dillon.
Such an important part of the game right now to miss a pitch in that situation. Not in any situation, but particularly in this situation. It's a fastball, was down. It's down in the strike zone. It's not a strike. May have caught a little bit of that piece. Maybe it was.
It was close.
It was close.
I think it's reminiscent from last night with Mark Wegner's strike zone, which was all over the place. All right, so Joe Dillon, I think it was Joe that was thrown out of the ball game. Joe Girardi is still in. Yeah, Pedro Guerrero comes out. He's Philly's assistant hitting coach.
Got the corner with a fastball. Adam Hammery telling Torey Lovullo that's enough. And he's been ejected. And here comes Torey Lovullo. He's been thrown out of the ball game by Adam Hammery. And Hammery appeared to make a pretty good call on that last pitch.
Looked like they were playing rock, paper, scissors there for a moment with Adam Hammery.
Torey, it seems like he's complaining about a call they didn't get on a previous pitch somewhere, and Hammery saying that is not the same. That one hit the corner. And so Torey will get an early exit here in a scoreless fourth. There's Luis Urueta, the bench coach, Robbie Hammock. Those two will steer the ship from here on in.
Let's see, 1957, you would have already been retired.
Okay.
Cubs versus the Reds. It was the Cubs that walked 9 in an inning back in 1957. Major League record is 11. The Senators. You got to go back when the Washington team was named the Senators against the Yankees. 1949. Down goes Goodwin. But the Reds will take a 5-0 lead into the 5th. A lot of words, in fact. He got ejected, said some magic words. David Bell had to come out to get between Goodwin and Estabrook as it got very heated. So Goodwin is out of the game. Nick Senzel will take over in center field.
Strike 3 became the last straw. Goodwin said something to the plate umpire, and then as we went to break, he fires the ball away, and then opens his hand.
I love the way he had the presence of mind to throw the ball back to the mound and then throw him out.
That's top notch.
If he'd have thrown him out beforehand, that ball would have been rifled into the Sox dugout.
That's one of the most majestic ejections you're going to see.
Yeah, nice job. Goodwin didn't think so, but he was arguing a couple pitches before, and that's a no-no.
David Bell came out to protect his guy, but he was too little too late. And so Aquino stays in left field for Akiyama, and you'd imagine it's going to be Senzel in center field because they are quickly running out of outfielders.
Rendon goes down looking. Wow. He doesn't like that call. And he waves him off, and he just gets ejected. That's his first ejection for Anthony Rendon as an Angel.
That was well above the strike zone. And even bringing it down, that's about a baseball and a half above the strike zone.
Joe Maddon's out to have a word. As soon as you wave off an umpire like that, more times than not, because I'm sure there was something said as well. It's automatic. First of all, you can't argue balls and strikes. It's automatic ejection.
There's been a couple borderline pitches called against Rendon today alone. That one is above it. I mean, that's not even a strike.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that's a strike. I'm just telling you,
you can't do the Bundy.
You can't wave them off.
Field it perfectly to get him out.
And a strike 3 called on the inside corner. Roman down looking. 3 strikeouts.
Stay in the game. He's got to stay in the game.
Yeah, he's not pleased. That looked like a strike, John. Now we're going by the box, and now he's out of the game. Well, that means that McCutchen, Moniak, or Goslin is going to have to come into the ballgame.
Don't you get run, Joe.
And Joe has been thrown out of the game. Joe basically said to him, clean it up. But I don't know what else was said with the mask on. All right, here's the pitch. Bottom of the box.
Yeah, I bet it's too close. And again, a lot of that could be frustration from Roman because he has struck out a lot. And he thought, wow, you know, okay, I worked the walk.
Yeah, 1 for his last 10 with 8 strikeouts.
It's James McCann in his first at bat of the ball game. Strike 1. Sox dugout did not like it. That did have the zone.
James didn't like it. He thought it was down, possibly in.
Fouled away. The reason James is in the ball game is because the Yasmani Grandal got hit in the hand on this foul.
Hit off the shin guard, but unfortunately hit the hand, and it caught him pretty good.
Fouled away again. Number 20 here. James takes a ball outside. 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. Wrenched his back. Breaking ball called strike 3 on the outside corner. He snapped off a slider after a bunch of fastballs in a row.
Remember, we talked about how a ball comes over the plate instead of where it's caught. That one was off the plate. That was not a good call by Dan Bellino. And I mean, James McCann's incensed. Ricky gets run. He should. That's a very bad call at a very bad time for the Sox. That ball absolutely slid around the plate.
Ricky Renteria goes out to defend his guy. Watch where this thing lands. I mean, it's a good catch by Perez.
Yeah, he brings it back a little bit, and where he caught it, it probably was in the zone. Where it came across the plate, it's outside. I mean, McCann has caught these his whole life. He has a very good idea where that outside corner extends to, and you very rarely see him complain. But Ricky is given the heave-ho, and we move on.
Ricky coming out there, it looks like he saved his catcher from getting thrown out of the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good plan.
This Saturday at 9 p.m. so you have some time from tonight. And the Royals are wearing Kansas City Monarchs uniform from 1945, and the Cardinals the St. Louis Stars from 1930.
I'm doing well. I wish I was in the booth.
Limits tonight, even though you were going to be by way of conference call.
Grown accustomed to seeing in Kansas City, but it's a very important team because the 1945 team, along with having 3 future Hall of Famers, one of those was Jackie Robinson. And so Jackie begins his illustrious professional baseball career here in Kansas City in 1945 with the great Kansas City Monarchs. And he joins Kansas City at the right time, depending on how you look at it. Because for J.L. Wilkinson, who signed him, little did Wilkie know he was signing the man that was ultimately going to put him out of business.
Bob, we're showing you Mike Matheny, who I believe was just ejected from the game. So when the pitching change happened, we were busy talking to you. This is Mike Matheny saying something to Manny Gonzalez, and Manny Gonzalez was pointing to the mound. So I don't know if there was an issue with Brady Singer, but then they started to get into it. And that was the end of that, and that was the beginning of it. Mike stayed out there for a while and gave Manny Gonzalez a piece of his mind. And so he's been ejected from the game, and that's Jake Newberry warming up. And
I think Angel's hearing it from the dugout.
And rightfully so, if we're being honest. I mean, that's what the appeal's for. And he's going to throw somebody out in the Sox dugout.
Yeah.
Ricky Renteria is irate. Tim Anderson is too, and rightfully so. That's back-to-back nights. But Angel Hernandez has been really rough. Ricky just got ejected. Maybe Tim got thrown out. We'll see who else it was who got thrown out from the dugout. Angel Hernandez, really, truly, when you miss as much as he has tonight, you got to give people more rope.
Well, you also have to get some help on that last pitch. If Tim got thrown out, that is real bad.
You just have to let people get their emotions out especially when it's been rough both ways. Man. Ricky Renteria goes out to fight for his guys, and rightfully so. Again, I mean, this has been a really rough plate tonight.
Inside, this is out to left center field. Moving over is Pham. He'll make the catch on a dive. Did he bobble it? And did he keep control of it? That's the question. Being waved around is Anthony Bemboom. The call is out on the field. But it certainly looked like there was a bobble there.
Either he felt that he hurt his hand or he did bobble that. He's looking back himself. He's not even running off the field. I would take a look at that.
That ball's on the ground, I think, Gooby.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and that means 2 runs will, well, it all depends on what they do. They should allow Bemboom. With 2 outs, he's running. And the outfield, Pham that is, decided that because of the call, decided to just jog on in. Bemboom kept running and scored. Well, I could see where the umpires might put him back at third base.
Possibly, but you know that Pham must have bobbled that because he would have been running off the field by now.
He didn't have to go into the dive. That's the thing. The question is, did he have it long enough?
There's a ball on the ground. Yep. And he put it back in the glove. I remember I used to do that with my vegetables and tried to hide that from my parents, saying, "Did you eat your vegetables?" "Oh, yeah, I did."
So one run is in for sure.
Yeah, you see that great angle there. The baseball is out of the glove not once but twice. That's not a confident outfielder.
The question is, why dive?
Yeah.
Just keep running and make the play on your feet. You had no reason to dive whatsoever for it. And it looked like the ground is what caused the ball to pop out. I guess that's what they're trying to figure out. Number one, did he have control?
I think
and if he did, where do you put the base runner?
I think that's why it's taken so long where to put Bemboom here. It's got to be down. Yeah, it's got to be the conversation where they're going to put Bemboom.
They're going to put him at second base, it looks like. Yeah.
But the most important thing is a run is going to score here, though.
Oh, he's going to third.
Yep. Run scores, Bemboom to third.
Okay. I thought for a second, maybe Joe was arguing that he should have scored, but I guess at that point things have to kind of. Joe Maddon's coming out. It looks like Brian Butterfield's been ejected. I don't know why he would be arguing. So Joe Maddon's got to come out and protect him. I mean, you can't. Once a play is reviewed, you can't argue the review. This is the replay.
See, Bemboom's just getting to second base.
He's not even
right
at
now.
second base.
Yeah.
You can't award him home. So I don't know what the argument would be.
Imagine that puts Mike Gallego back to third base. Coaching box.
How can you? I don't understand how you can make an argument that Bemboom should score from first base on a ball to left field.
Joe going to go old school as a manager used to be the third base coach back in the day. Albert says, "Yo, I got it."
I'd imagine you're waiting for a coach to actually put a jersey on to go. Think you're going to go out there? There you go.
He's getting a standing ovation by his guys in the dugout.
Just another one of the guys that are just trying to break into the 21 bullpen for the D-backs. And he is a four-seam fastball slider guy. Pretty much cut it right down the middle, half and half.
Uh-oh, we got an ejection from the Rangers bench. And it looks like it's Woody. I don't think he liked the strike call.
Yeah, I think he's had enough of the strike zone after last inning, and then I think if he saw another one, he wasn't. He didn't want to hear any more of it.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Kiner Falefa. So that was kind of a quick, uneventful ejection right there. Woody chiming in from the bench. I mean, how is that a strike?
That's tough right there. That was to end last inning.
Yeah, that was the worst of the worst. Bouncer shortstop.
Game 1 of 2. Now, this happened while we were away. Here's the strike call on Matt Kemp. Matt frustrated, said something to Jim Reynolds. They're having somewhat of a civil discussion. And then Kemp is being escorted away, so he stays in the game by Stu Cole. Buddy's coming out, and then evidently Matt said something else, and he got thrown out.
Strike 3. Judge down looking.
You throw a sinker, you usually throw a slider after it, and here's a good slider right at the bottom of the strike zone or lower, and it gets caught on Judge a lot. We've talked about it. That is shin guard high right there.
Not really even close. Boy, you wonder how he keeps his composure, because that was really a bad call by Tumpane. I guess there's nothing you could really do about it, but that was well below the knee. And Aaron Boone has certainly made his displeasure known from the dugout, and now he gets thrown out.
See, there's no fan, so we can hear every word.
Good for Booney.
Well, you know, he's protecting his player. We've watched Aaron Judge get called on that all the time. It's gone on. This is the second year it's gone on. It's not right, and it's, you know, he can't help it if he's tall.
I wonder where I wasn't looking at the monitor. Why that pitch really looked low. I just looked at the monitor. Boy, that pitch looked low. So being 0-1 to Hicks.
As that one hits Contreras after the home run and the bat flip earlier, the Cubs dugout is yelling at Cordero. Dan Bellino says, stay in the dugout, everybody. The umpires are going to come together and they'll talk it over. Contreras gets hit by the pitch. The umpires immediately went to the Cubs dugout and said, stay there, do not do anything. They're going to talk it over, and we will see what ends up happening. In a 7-0 game, Cordero hits Contreras. And they're going to throw out Cordero. Ricky Renteria comes out of the dugout. Don Cooper as well, shouting at Dan Bellino, who said, we got this, to the Cubs dugout. Ricky Renteria comes out to argue, and Coop is back there too. Don Cooper is screaming.
That Ricky probably argues long enough to get tossed. We'll see.
Ricky Renteria is incensed with Dan Bellino. Don Cooper thrown out of the ball game, by the way.